Hi everyone. Uh, my name is Svetlana. Um, I started this channel to share my experience uh, with Crohn's disease, arthritis, osteoarthritis, and heart problems that I have had, and my journey to recovery. Here, uh, I will talk about everything I wish I had knew earlier. Uh, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2007. During that period, I was prescribed sulfasalazine therapy and strict diet, which I consistently followed. Uh, However, uh, I still experienced a lack of strength, energy, chronic fatigue, constipation, as well as constant weight loss. Uh, Over time, uh, I was diagnosed with more conditions. At first, arthritis, then osteoarthritis, and later heart problems. At one point, I had a complete paralysis of the entire left side of my body, as well as both legs. Um Ever since early childhood, I have had pronounced problems with food. I have always been sensitive and I couldn't tolerate just any kind of food. Uh, for example, certain foods such as milk, vinegar, pickles, very fatty and spicy foods would make me feel nauseous, and uh, sometimes I even felt the urge to vomit. Uh, After consuming such meals, I often experienced some stomach pain or diarrhea, or both. Uh, as I was growing up, other symptoms appeared. Uh, I often had mouth sores, um, sudden and sharp stomach pains. I had frequent sore throats, and even though I was constantly thin, uh, my stomach was bloated. Uh, After that, uh, I started noticing redness on both of my cheeks. At first, uh, it was just a very mild flush, and I didn't pay much attention to it. Uh, but with every new flare up of my Crohn's disease, it became more intense. Uh, that redness became part of my everyday life until I changed my diet. During my schooling, I also, in one period, had red marks on both of my knees, even though I had not yet been diagnosed with Crohn's disease. Later, a rash appeared on my face. Um, it was mainly around the chin, in the form of red acne from which lymph was leaking. And in that period, my doctor prescribed corticosteroid creams. Um, this rash later reappeared on my face, especially in the area around my mouth. And I also noticed changes in some of my toenails, which began separating from their base. I also had a chronic feeling of fatigue, and heaviness in my calves and thighs. During those same years, I developed severe pain in the center of my spine, which made it difficult to sit upright for long periods. On top of that, I had stiffness in my lower back. So when I bent forward, I couldn't reach my toes. I also experienced gum pain, severe headaches in the sinus area, and blurred vision in my left eye. And as the illness progressed, a capillary in that eye eventually burst. I often had mild fevers with slightly elevated body temperature, with around 37 degrees Celsius, and this would only stop when my doctor prescribed antibiotics. The hardest period for me started when my left knee suddenly swollen up, becoming almost 3 times larger than usual. Not longer after, my left hand began cramping uncontrollably, eventually leading to deformity typical of arthritis patients. After a certain period of time, my entire left side and both legs became paralyzed. I couldn't open my mouth. I lost sensation in my left arm and I was unable to walk. Before that point, I had already looked for solutions in alternative approaches. At first, I switched to a vegetarian and then to a vegan diet. However, I only started noticing real improvements when I began a diet that reduced inflammation in my throat, stomach, and in the small and large intestines. I started really paying attention to how my body reacted to different foods. Slowly, everything began to change, leading to my recovery and being able to walk again and regaining the sense of mobility in my left arm and jaw. What kept me going through all of it was the trust in my body's reaction, which knows best what suits it and what doesn't. Especially after I had already tried different approaches that did not give me the desired results. I learned the hard way how important it is to listen to my body and respect its limits, which I hadn't done before. I used to push myself constantly and often went to work sick with fever. I didn't rest, even though I was completely exhausted and sleep deprived. During this period of recovery, I learned the most important lesson of my life. Anything that cost me my inner peace is simply too expensive. I will repeat this once more so you can remember. Anything that disturbs our inner peace is not worth our attention and energy, and only represents a waste of our precious life minutes that we could spend on what truly brings us joy, peace, and fulfillment. It was only when I started putting my own needs first and stopped exhausting myself by constantly worrying about others that I began to return to my true nature, my purpose, and my character. Finally, I would like to ask a question. During periods of severe flare-ups of Crohn's disease, I experienced episodes that would begin with an intense tingling sensation in my palms, followed by red and white spots appearing on both hands. Suddenly, I would feel weakness in my legs and loss of control over my body, causing me to collapse. Even though I was still fully aware of my surroundings and I could see and hear everything, I was not able to speak. I'm really interested. Does anyone else with Crohn's disease have a similar experience? I would really appreciate it if you could share it in the comments below. In the next video, I'll talk about a diet that reduces inflammation in Crohn's disease and that personally helped me walk again and regain sensation in my left hand and jaw. I wish you all a pleasant day and all the best.